now we'll talk about Boca's approach to purchasing. We'll discuss their priorities when it comes to making purchasing decisions, how they select the partners they purchase from, and what the vetting process is. Okay, so when it comes to purchasing, obviously that's a vital process with what you do here at Boca. Not only with what you're buying, but who you're buying it from and how you select who you buy it from. Do you have a vetting process when it comes to working with suppliers?
Because we actively pursue new ingredients, it takes us out to the market, it takes us out to the farm. And ideally, in an ideal world, we'd love to work with these farms, with these growers directly. Unfortunately, that's not always possible because of logistics, of course. Most of these guys are focused on what they do, which is growing and producing these vegetables and ingredients. So logistics becomes in our way. What we ask usually from our partners and suppliers is understanding where we come from, understanding what we're trying to do here. And most of them do listen when we talk to them about the lead time that it takes for us to, for example, order, because we always work on a very short inventory, which means that we do not stock a lot of product. So we want our supplier or the person that that we're dealing with to bring in our ingredients once a week, twice a week. We care about how they supply us the product. So the less packaging, the better. We always ask our suppliers to deliver the produce in crates, where we dump the product and then take it back, rather than including a lot of unnecessary packaging, of course. We started having even conversations with suppliers where we have a lot of wastage of their items. So, for example, glass. That's our biggest category in terms of weight. And we've been having a discussion for quite some time now with one of our biggest suppliers of bottles. And I think we're piloting a project now where they will pick up the used bottles and take it to a recycling facility. So yes, of course, dealing with our suppliers and our relationship with them is extremely crucial to what we're doing here.
It's been quite known that you've been working with suppliers like Pure Harvest for key ingredients like your tomatoes. Obviously, you're a Spanish concept, so I'm sure you go through a lot of them kind of every week. Was there something that drew you to working with a supplier like Pure Harvest, for example?
Absolutely, great question. We've been tracking the evolution of Pure Harvest for quite some time. And quite closely. We're obviously very proud, we're very curious around that process. And they've taken us on the farm multiple times. We saw the entire process. We saw the care. We saw how these tomatoes are growing in natural sunlight. There are bees pollinating in the farm, which is great. And then at the end of the day, the taste factor. I mean, that was the thing that really made us take that decision. They came up with 6 or 7 varieties that we absolutely love, and we said, you know what? We did the math. We said we looked at the tomatoes that we purchased from all over, whether it's locally or regionally. We compared it to the tomatoes that are coming from Pure Harvest, and with the taste test, it was a no-brainer for us. So that's why we said we want to consolidate our purchasing, which makes our lives way easier. With them, and that's now all the tomato that we use in the restaurant.
And I'm going to come to you, Matti. So would you be able to take me through kind of the life cycle of a tomato when it arrives here at the restaurant? How do you make sure that you're not wasting any of it?
Oh, it's very easy, actually, not gonna lie about that. So of course, yeah, we're like Mediterranean European concept, and they use a lot of tomatoes. For a lot of different techniques, of course. Same like a potato, you can use a potato for like 50 different techniques. Tomato is nothing different. What we always did, we did lacto-fermenting the tomato, so we get like the fermented water. Then we have the pulp that we dried. We use the tomatoes for the sauces, for our tapas menu. Even like for the beef juice and all that, we use a lot of tomato, because of the classical recipes, of course. Even for the salads, so it always comes back in one way or another. So it's very, very diverse ingredient. and it always comes back into our kitchen, and then it also like transfers to the bar, like when it's like the proper season, you know, for your Bloody Mary, let's say. So it always, in one way or another, we use tomatoes a lot.
And you use it as seasoning, right? When you dehydrate the skins?
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes. So they basically, because of, you intensify the flavor of like a vegetable when you dehydrate it so much. You know, like think of like dried apricots as well, you know, dried figs, like it very intensifies. We powder basically the dry skins, and then we bring it back into like a cheese course. So we mix it with like a goat cheese, with intensify the flavor, or we bring it back into whatever. It just keeps coming back into like, and it really enhances the flavors.
So I think when you start with an ingredient that's good to begin with, that's great quality, it's easier to use it across various applications, correct?
Absolutely, that's the universal decision factor. It is the taste test, really, and that was the reason why we took that decision to consolidate with Pure Harvest. And obviously, there are similar stories that we have with other ingredients as well, that we use in the kitchen.
Thank you. So we've seen there how it's important to empower each department to make decisions about the products they wish to buy and deliver against the CSR mission of Bocca. They thoroughly vet and review the companies that they purchase from. They need to be able to articulate their own CSR and sustainability mission clearly, as purchasing from those companies that are very advanced in the space of sustainability will have a circular benefit. So, for example, buying from more companies that are already very sustainable will automatically reduce the impact from the goods that Bocca buys.